How's it? I'm Kaburi, and for this week's video, we have a piece from Sideshow. Like I said, for this week's video, we have Sideshow. It's a company from which we've received quite a lot of pre-orders. It's this company's turn, and we hadn't had the chance to do an unboxing from them before. Let me show you this side of the box. This is how it comes. If you look, it's marked as fragile. This side up, all the safety instructions. And I'll show you the front. Over here it says Sideshow Collectibles. It has the company's address, which is in the US. And if you notice, it says this is piece number 950 out of only 1,250 pieces in the world. The name is there, so you can probably guess what it is. But for now, even for those recording this video, it's a complete mystery. Stick with us so you can find out everything that's inside this piece and truly be a part of this world-class unboxing. And yes, the video title already gave you the spoiler. Honestly, the box came kind of hiding the SP Spider-Man and MJ, and I thought, could this be the piece? And honestly, now that I just took it out, it really was, and what a surprise I got. The first thing we see on top is the certificate from J. Scott Campbell, where the name Campbell appears, right here at the bottom J. Scott Campbell, from whom we have tons and tons of comics here at Darkoburi. Honestly, it's an awesome piece, and it comes with its certificate. Down here is the number 5. It's the edition of piece number 5. We're going to do the full unboxing, not just the certificate, but right away we get a spoiler of how it looks. If you notice, it's Spider-Man and Mary Jane. And here you can see everything that makes up the piece, which has already been used on quite a few covers by Campbell himself. And it includes the whole set design of Peter's apartment. On the outside here, we can see the city of New York over there in Manhattan. And if you look over on this side, the box shows another part of the same city, the books, because our good old Pete is always doing his homework and studying hard. And there's also a surprise on the back of the box. Check out this amazing design on the back. Here we see the whole spider design, and here's the signature of our good friend Campbell. And if you look closely, the website is also included. This piece was a collaboration between Campbell and Sideshow, which is why you can find it at Sideshow, Plantoko, and Sideshow, which is really taking a significant share of the market, with lots of pre-orders. Honestly, there was a marathon of pre-orders, all of which were featured on Darkoburi News. Over here, as for the details, if you look closely, the design really is a spider web, another window, several little plants, and it's obviously full of everything that's characteristic of our masked hero, Spider-Man, who, in my opinion, is the best hero. And here, we just have the name Spider-Man and Mary Jane. So stick around. Honestly, the box is super cool, and I have no doubt the figure is going to be just as good. So let's get to it. After opening the box, there was a styrofoam box inside, totally protecting our piece, and we took out all the parts that came with our figure. This is how it arrives. Each of these parts comes in its own little bag to protect the colors. And the first thing we find is the base. If you look, it's a super cool base, representing the couch just like we saw in the box. But the interesting part is what's underneath here. If you check it out, it has all the Sideshow info in the J section. Scott Campbell, where it's 950 of 1,250 pieces in the world. Honestly, a mega, super piece. The other super cool thing is what's on this side. If you look here, it has the autograph, or rather, the signature of J. Scott Campbell. And just so you can see how the whole couch looks, it's like this. Now, let's start assembling all these parts, which belong to our Spider-Man with his Mary Jane Watson. Obviously, each piece, if you look closely, You just fit it in place. It just drops in. If you notice, it doesn't have anything that locks it in or keeps the piece fixed, unlike the others. All the other pieces do have this little part. Hopefully, they're like the Sumiya pieces, which are magnetized so you don't have any issues. Let's measure it. In fact, you can see here that it does have a magnet. You can see the circle on this piece, which is the head of Mary Jane. Now, let's calmly and carefully start assembling the whole piece. If you notice, there's nothing to hold it in place for assembly. Now, down here, our Spidey has this part where it's going to fit in. You always have to do this very carefully, and if you look, honestly, it turned out super awesome. Also, our Spider-Man comes with each of his arms. Let's check this side, and in a moment, we'll do a full review of the figure. Here's the separate piece for Peter Parker. Each piece fits perfectly. Here's Mary Jane's hand. Let's see, Mary Jane's hand is in place now. And finally, let's do this part that was over here. This one's got a trick to it because she's hugging our good friend Peter Parker. The last thing that comes is this little go get the tiger sign, which we place over here on this side. And that's how we fully assemble our piece. For the analysis of the piece, let's start with our superhero Spider-Man. If you notice, he's got his mask halfway on, but here we have his signature white eyes with the black outline or contour. The entire mask has this webbing pattern, but there's a specific part right up here where it looks like he's taken it off. And in the area where the hair meets the mask, they've really paid attention to all those details. If you look closely, the whole mask is uniform and goes over his ears, and you can see all of Peter Parker's normal hair. These blue eyes, if we zoom in now so you can really see them up close, are super cool. Peter's face looks completely calm, happy, and relaxed. He's already with Mary Jane. He's already saved New York City, and now he shows up and says, "You know what? Here I am." On the back, we can see what was on Spider-Man's actual costume, what we saw on the box. If you remember, on the back of the box, there was the spider design. You can't really see the design on the front of our friend Spider-Man very well, but honestly, the design on the back turned out awesome. Check out how his back looks because of the pose he's in. They really nailed it. It looks amazing. And the way his shoulders are positioned, look at how his arm is shaped here and how the hand goes all the way down. Honestly, it's a great detail because it doesn't look like a totally flat figure. They really gave it the look of a human body. Here we have our hero crouching down, reaching the edge of the couch. As we saw, Spider-Man is completely sunken into this part, both the couch and the cushion, and you can really see the details of him sinking in. Of course, we all know Spider-Man's traditional suit in blue and red. The webbing on the upper part, the blue part is completely solid, and here we see the boots or the foot area of Spider-Man, where the last part of his costume ends. The belt also features this webbing detail. I'll let you take a much closer and more detailed look at Peter Parker here on the Darkoburi channel, where I very quickly and efficiently put him together. Honestly, I truly didn't want you to miss out on this particular and significant detail, which is the intricate webbing on the very front of our beloved hero, Spider-Man, that perfectly completes the rest of his iconic suit. Honestly, each and every one of these distinct spiders is the kind that has consistently changed and evolved throughout the various movies, and quite obviously, it perpetually keeps changing on the costume itself. Now, as we can see, the hands are attached here with Mary Jane, but the rest of the suit honestly fits Peter Parker perfectly. Peter Parker is obviously posed, and now he's really close to Mary Jane, so the camera couldn't capture the detail in depth. That's why I'm showing it to you here on the Darkoburi channel, so you can see it. Now let's move on to Mary Jane Watson, who, if you notice, has always been Spider-Man's girlfriend. After Gwen Stacy and the tragic ending she had with Peter Parker, comes Mary Jane Watson. Here we see Mary Jane sitting on the couch. If you look closely, the cushion even has an indentation where you're supposed to place Mary Jane. And as we saw, the figure isn't attached anywhere. Only Spider-Man has a part that actually fits directly into the couch. Mary Jane is obviously wearing Spider-Man stockings, which come down just below her knees. And if you look, you can see here that it's the same outline, the same design as our Spidey has. Now we can see her bare leg. She's wearing shorts, and her blouse is a shade of blue that's a bit lighter than the shorts. Honestly, Jay, Scott Campbell has revolutionized this aspect, always drawing women with a more sensual touch. That's why his designs, both in the comics he draws and on the covers, as well as in this very figure, a true classic among classics, are done this way. The other things we can see about Mary Jane Watson are the intense red color of her hair, the smile she has because her t-shirt is with him, and her eyes. If you look closely, you can see the color of Mary Jane's eyes, and she's just sitting there. Honestly, it's super cool. There have been quite a few covers featuring her, and if you want to check them out, we have plenty of photos of this same cover and the variants that come with the other girls who appear with Spider-Man. And the last thing we have to look at is this little teddy bear. All of this is made, let's say, out of ceramic. It's not a plastic piece, and that doesn't mean it can't break, so handle it with a lot of care. If you look closely at this little plush, you can see the little paws marked here, which are part of our animal. Here's the tail on this side, and the rest is a tiger that looks like it's falling asleep. It doesn't seem too happy to be there, but if you notice, it's, let's say, a bit chubby, a little plump, which complements our piece on this side. And the last thing you really need to look at in detail is our certificate. As you saw, the piece was number 950 out of 1250. I really would have liked it if the certificate had that information, because now we're putting all the pieces in their display cases, museum quality, and we have our certificate of authenticity framed. It should say the piece and its number, but here it's missing that. If you want to see the edition number, you'll have to handle the piece again to check that it's number 950, or go back to the main box. This is the only tip, or let's say, piece of advice I have for our friends at Sideshow and Jay. Scott Campbell, add the number of your piece here to our Spider-Man collection, and I'll leave you now so you can see everything Mary Jane Watson, Peter Parker, and the couch on the Darkoburi channel. If you liked this video, leave a comment. Honestly, this is an iconic piece from the J. Scott Campbell cover brought to life in these models he's making, and it's super cool. The autograph is on the couch, and there's also an autograph on the certificate of authenticity. So there's nothing not to love about this piece and our hero, Spider-Man. And remember to check out all our social media. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're everywhere. Visit each and every one of our social media pages, and also stop by our website, where we have thermoses, mugs, gifts, a whole world of collectibles just for you. And you can trust and feel secure that they'll be delivered right to your doorstep. If you love this piece, let us know in the comments. If you want us to unbox any other item, mention it on our social media. We'll reply to your private message wherever you reach out. Honestly, we're a community of collectors. If you have tips, advice, or suggestions on where to buy safely, don't hesitate to leave us a message, comment, private message, or post, because everyone is interested. That's all for now. This is your friend Darkoburi signing off. You know it, Darkoburi, peace out.